We are still looking at similarity and proportion, so today we're going to do parallel and proportional parts of triangles. So quick review. Let's see. Make sure we've got something to write with here. The following figures are similar. Write a similarity statement and tell why. So I have parallel lines, so if I have parallel lines, that means I have transversals. So I know these two angles are congruent because they're corresponding. Those two angles are congruent because they're also corresponding. So the little triangle, EFG, is similar to the big triangle, IHF, because angle, angle. So they said EFG. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So that means I have to go IFH. So IFH. Same thing over here. I have parallel lines, and this time the transversals cross, so it makes a bow tie instead of overlapping. So now I have alternate interior angles. So these two are similar by angle, angle also. So they have E, M, P. So E goes with Q, M is still M, and G goes with P. So this will be Q, M, G. All right. So given that triangle ACE, so ACE, so let's see here, select, get that marker off of there. All right, so now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then DCB. 1, 2, 3. All right, so now I'm going to redraw these because this right triangle here is completely flipped around from this one. So if I can redraw them, then it will help. So I'm going to redraw two triangles, one small and one large. All right, so this is A, E, C. And then the right angle on this one is B, and across from the right angle is D. So this is C on this one also. So now I've got them facing the same direction, which will make it a whole lot easier. So AC is 10, BC is 4, CE is 8, find DC. So instead of trying to label it all over here, just redraw them separately. It makes it so much easier. So now I know that this hypotenuse goes with this hypotenuse, so 10 goes with X, and this leg goes with this leg, so 8 goes with 4. So cross multiply and divide. 8x equals 40, so X is 5. So I find out that DC is 5. Just redraw them. It took just 2 seconds to redraw them, and you could probably do it even faster with pencil than I can with this thing. All right, given that ACD, so A, so this is 1, 2, 3, and notice these are all flipped around again, so I'm just going to redraw the triangles again because to me, when they're flipped around, it just makes it way more difficult to try to draw a triangle. So let's go to shapes. Let's do that right triangle again. We'll do, well, that's not the one I wanted. Shapes. And notice it's flipped around. So I'm just going to draw 2 of them real quick. And then I'm going to flip them around. So you can draw yours already flipped. Make it a lot easier. All right, so go here to my pen. So this is A, this is C, and this is D. And D gets this mark here, DC is 6. And AD goes from here all the way up, so that would be 4 plus 6, so this side is actually 10. Now, on this one, this angle B is the one that matches my angle D. See how they have the matching marks? They both share an angle A. Okay, so that means this is going to be my angle B. Okay, so they share angle A, so angle A is the same in both of them. Their angle B's are what is the same, so angle A, if they share it, it's equal, right? So that means E and C have to go together. So that helps me know which way I needed to flip it around. So I see that AE is 4, and BE is 3, and AB is X. So now I know that this side is going to go with this side, and this side is going to go with that side. And I don't need that one. So X goes with 10, 3 goes with 6. 6x equals 30, so X is 5. So X is 5 in this problem. Alright, now the side splitter. We've been talking about this one. I keep telling you over and over and over, if you have two sides that are parallel like this here, then it automatically cuts this up proportionately. So basically this kind of acts like a divider, so that you have this piece over this piece over this piece. So if BD is parallel to AE, then CB over BA is going to be equal to CD over DE. So this piece over this piece over this piece. So same thing, say it in reverse, just like the conditional and the converse. So given that statement, okay, this splits it up, so I already have my fraction set up. 6 over x equals 4 over 6. Cross multiply. 4x equals 36. So x is 9. So that means this piece is 9. Same thing over here, it splits it up. But this is 27, so if I take 27 and subtract the 9, I get that this is 18. So now that I know that that part is 18, then I can set it up. So I'm going to go, okay, this is 18. So now it's already set up for me. So x plus 4 over x equals 18 over 9. So now I don't need the 27 anymore. I just needed it to get that piece. So now I can set it up. So now when I cross multiply this way, I get 9 times x plus 4 equals 18 times x. So now I've got 9x plus 54 equals 18x. Subtract 9x from both sides. I get 54 equals 9x. Divide both sides by 9, and I get that x is 6. So I find out that x, this piece here, is 6. So this would be 6 plus 4, which would make this side 10. Alright, so same thing with this one here. The only thing is it may look a little weird because it's twisted, but that line still goes through like this, so it's still set up for you. You still have 8 over 12. So since I used the 8 first, then I'm going to go across here, and the x plus 4 goes first. And it's going to go over x plus 12. So cross multiply, I get 8x plus 8 times x plus 12, sorry, equals, let's go this way, 12 times x plus 4. So now distribute, I get 8x plus 96 equals 12x plus 48. So I'm going to subtract 8x from both sides. I get 96 equals 4x plus 48. Subtract 48 from both sides. And I get 48 equals 4x. And divide both sides by 4. And I get that x is 12. So this time x is 12. Now this one wants us to find the mistake. So it says Macy was given the following similar triangles and asked to solve. Here is her work. So she did 2 over 5 x over 10. Where is her mistake? Because it is wrong. Because if you'll notice, I've got this small triangle, and then you should use the large triangle so that you have corresponding pieces. So really, this whole side here is 7. So the 5 should have been a 7. So this would have been a 7. So then when I did my answer, I should have gotten x equals 20 over 7, which would be almost 3. So big difference, okay? Please be sure that whenever you are, one second. Whenever you're setting these up, please, please, please make sure that you are using corresponding sides, not just pieces. All right, same thing here. We have a mid-segment, and what it makes a mid-segment is this is a midpoint, this is a midpoint. So I have all this equalness. When it's all equal, it makes things so much easier. But here's the cool thing. This mid-segment is half of this side. So if this side is 100, then this side is 50. But the easiest way to look at it, so you don't have to deal with the fraction, is to say 2 middle pieces. So if I said 2 BDs, because that's the middle piece, it's really just equal to 1 AE. Or even easier, 2 BDs is AE. So I would need 2 of these to equal 1 of those. So let's try it. So I have all this equalness. This is equal to this, so that means x is 11. This side's equal to this side, so that makes y is 9. And this side is half of this side. So what's 30 divided by 2? Because that's what a half is. So that would be 15. So that means z is 15. Same thing here. Since I know these two are equal, I know this is a mid-segment, so I know this is half of this. So x is half of 17 over 2, which is 35. Okay, now this one is asking for degrees. Please be careful that you're paying attention to what they're asking for. So since these two are midpoints, that makes this a mid-segment, which makes it parallel. And if it's parallel, then this angle is equal to this one. So that makes x 42 degrees. Now, if this is my transversal on this side, that makes, so I'm going to say x is equal to 42 because they're corresponding, because we can't forget these terms. Now, these two are on the same side of this transversal, and they're inside my parallel lines, so that makes 80 and y same side interior, so that means y has to be 100 because they're supplementary. So 80 plus y equals 180. Oops. All right, so let's try some of these problems. So we've got, these two are equal because they have the same marks. So that's easy. Let's go ahead and do the easy one. 5y minus 10 is equal to 3y minus 4. If I subtract 3y from both sides, I get 2y minus 10 is equal to negative 4. Then I'm going to add 10 to both sides. So I get that 2y is equal to 6. So that makes y 3. So y is 3. Now remember what I said, that you needed 2 of these. So I need 2 of the middle pieces. So I need 2 of the middle pieces just to equal 1 of the big pieces. So I've got 6x plus 8 equals 5x plus 4. Subtract 5x. So if I subtract a 5x from both sides, and we'll draw a line through here. So I get x plus 8 equals 4. And oh, that should be a 4, sorry. That should be a 4. Let's erase that. So 6x plus 2. I thought that was a 4 because I can't read my own handwriting. Subtract 2 from both sides. X is 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 is half of 14. All right. Now this one looks really weird, but if you think about it, this piece right here is a mid-segment, so that makes it half of this. So if this is 12, I need 2 of these. I need 2 12s to equal 1x. So that makes x 24. Same thing applies here. If this one is 14, then that makes this one 28. Now we have proportional segments. Okay, and what that means is if I have some parallel lines and transversals, they're going to be cut up proportionately. So you have all these different proportions. You can set it up so many different ways. So if you did AB over BC, then you would say this piece over this piece, and it's going to be equal to this piece over this piece, and so on. And the same thing too, if you have parallel lines and transversals, if one pair is congruent, the other pair is automatically congruent. It just cuts it up that way. So let's look at this one. If you'll notice, I have 3 parallel lines with transversals, which means they've been cut proportionately, so it's already set up for me. I already have 5 over 7 equals x over 14. So if I cross multiply, I get 7x equals, let's see, 5 times 14 is 70. So divide by 7, and you find out that x is 10. So this piece is 10, which would make sense because 2 times 7 is 14. 5 times 2 is 10. So this side is twice as long as this side over here. Now this one over here looks very confusing because you have a whole lot more parallel lines than what we're used to looking at. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend this isn't here for just a minute. Don't scribble it on your paper because you're going to need it. But if you'll notice, now I just have the same thing that I had on the previous problem. So I've got x over 4 is equal to 3x minus 6 over 8. Now I can cross multiply. So I go this way and I get 8x equals, and I go this way and I've got 4 times 3x minus 6. So I get 8x equals 12x minus 24. So if I subtract 12x from both sides, I get negative 4x equals negative 24. Divide both sides by negative 4. And I get that x is 6. So now I know that x is 6. So now I can go back up here and find my y value, because this time I'm going to pretend that the x is gone. Okay? So now I'm going to do the same exact thing here. I'm going to say y over 4, because now it's set up for me, y over 4 is equal to 4y minus 6 over 8. Now I can cross multiply again. 4 times 4y minus 6 equals 8y when I go this way. So I've got 16y minus 24 equals 8y. So if I move this 16y over here, I get negative 24 equals negative 8y. Divide by negative 8 on both sides. And a negative divided by negative is positive. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So y is 3. So now I know that y is 3. All right, now remember what I said. When you have parallel lines cut by a transversal, if when that transversal goes through there, if these two are equal, these two are automatically equal. So if this is 12, guess what? So is that one. If this is 14, guess what? So is that one. So that means 14 is equal to 2x. So if I divide both sides by 2, I get that x is 7. Same thing over here. These two are equal to each other. So 6y plus 4 is equal to 7y. Subtract 6y from both sides. And I found out that y is 4. These two are equal, so 4x is equal to 32, so divide both sides by 4, x is 8. And that's how easy it is. So I will see you guys next class period. Have a nice evening, and we'll see you later. Those of you who I don't get to see, have a good Thanksgiving break. Be safe and enjoy.